Okay, so now we're going to continue with our dictation exercise. We're starting with level 1. Level 1, how do we start a sentence?
Capital letter.
And how do we end the sentence?
Full stop.
Okay, so I'm going to read a sentence for you. Then I'm going to read the sentence in 2 parts because it's a bit long. You're going to repeat the part after me, and you're going to write it while you say the words. Is that clear?
Yes.
All right. So this is your sentence. Pan was the product of young people. So the first part, Pan was the product.
Pan was the product.
Okay, so I'll repeat that part for you. Pan was the product. The next part, of young people.
Of young people.
Okay, so now I'm going to read the entire sentence for you. You're going to check and see if you have missed out any words and put them in. Pan was the product of young people. Okay, now can we have a volunteer to come and write that sentence on the board for us? Thank you, Sylvia.
You're welcome, miss.
You can say the words while you're writing for them.
Pan was the product
Come here, continue here.
Continue.
Yes.
Of young people.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, so we noticed she started with her capital letter and her full stop nicely placed at the end here. Now, which of these words are sight words that you would have learned to spell before?
Was
So you had was, what else? The, of,
young
young, and
people.
people. Very good. All right, this word here, that's a phonetically regular word, so you could have easily sounded that out. Okay, so we had p, a, n, and we got pan.
Pan.
This one, we have 2 syllables, so whenever we're spelling a word with more than 1 syllable, we want to spell by syllable. So we had pro, P-R-O, and we had duct. Is there any of the sight words which you have learned already that are giving you trouble? Then you want to get another strategy to help you. So I also noticed that somebody had spelled young Y-U-N-G. So to remember that it's Y-O-U-N-G, you can say, I see the word you in young. So you remember Y-O-U. That's a strategy that you can use to remember to spell young. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So I'm going to erase this board. You're going to do level 2 dictation. So level 2, I'm going to read a sentence for you. The sentence is a bit long. So after I read the entire sentence, I'm going to read it in 3 parts for you. After each part, you will repeat it after me and write the part while you are saying it. All right? So we should thank the young men of the 1930s and 40s for managing to create something new. All right, so I'm going to write for you on the board how you will write 1930s and 40s when you hear it. You're not using words, you're using numbers. So we have 1930s and 40s. Okay, that's how you'll write it. So the first part of your sentence, we should thank the young men of the 1930s and 40s.
We should thank the young men of the 1930s and 40s.
We should thank the young men of the 1930s and 40s for managing to create
For managing to create.
Okay, so that was, we should thank the young men of the 1930s and 40s for managing to create something new.
Something new.
Okay, so check and see if you have missed out any of these words. We should thank the young men of the 1930s and 40s for managing to create something new. All right, so now we are going to write the sentence on the board. I'm going to leave some blank spaces. So we should thank the young men of the 1930s and 40s for managing to create something new. Okay, so we have the sentence on the board here with some blanks, and so you are going to help me now to fill in the missing words.
Yes,
So the second word, we should. Okay, what sound are you hearing at the beginning of that word? How do we spell that?
S-H.
Okay, and then we have the second part of the second sound in that word is? Ud. Ud. All right. How do we spell ud?
O-U-L-D.
Okay, so O-U-L-D, one of the letters from that word is silent, isn't it?
Yes, miss.
The letter L is missing, but you have spelled it correctly. That's very good. But there are two other words that can help us to remember that pattern. Do you remember them? Could and would. Right. So S-H-O-U-L-D. Great. We should thank the young. So we have young. How do we spell young?
Y.
Y.
O.
O. U-N-G. Did we hear this letter in the word? The letter O? It's a silent letter. So how do we remember that we have the letter O in the word young?
You are young.
You are young, right? The first part of the word, you are young. Of the 1930s and 40s for managing. All right, so that word managing, we're hearing at the end of that word, what are we hearing? Ing, which is a suffix, which means it was added to a root word. So let's write that root word on the board. The first part, what is the root word, by the way?
Manage.
And the first syllable is man. Spell that. M-A-N. Man. And then we have edge. And how do we spell edge?
A-G-E.
A-G-E, right? So you just got that from your spelling sounds. So now we have manage, and we want to add ing to get managing. So what does this manage end with? What letter?
E.
E. So what rule are we thinking of there?
Drop.
The drop E rule. So what's the first question we're going to ask for this root word?
Does the root word end in E?
Consonant and E. So does it end with a consonant and E?
Yes.
So we put a tick over this word. And then the suffix, what do we ask?
Does the suffix start with a vowel?
Does it start with a vowel?
Yes.
Yes, it starts with an I. So what do we now do?
Drop
Drop
the
the
E.
E.
Drop the E and add ing. So how do we spell managing? M-A-N-A-G-I-N-G. Very good. So now we come to create. How many syllables in that word?
2.
Spell the first syllable for me.
C-R-E.
C-R-E. And the second one?
A-T-E.
A-T-E. So we have create there. The next word, something. What do you know about that word, something?
It's a compound word.
It's a compound word. What's the first part of that word? Some. Can you spell some?
S-O-M-E.
And thing?
T-H-I-N-G.
T-H-I-N-G. Okay, so this is the standard English spelling for thing, as in thumb. Okay, but some of us would have said something. But we still remember that when we're spelling in standard English, we spell with the TH. Okay?